Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for the rather significant delay. That was a pain. Trying to get Twitch live for some reason was a real pain, but here we are. It is Friday night. We are here, and for people in the chat who can't see the stream, feel free. Oh, don't tell me the microphone's popping. Don't do this to me. Okay, hold on. Hold on. How about now? Hold on a second here. Oh dear. Okay, I've changed it. Is that better? Right, okay, we're good. Okay, I'm rolling with this. It's gonna be present. I just need to keep talking, basically. So we're gonna just roll with it. Okay, so before I get into it, this week is my update, which is the buff bar update. I'm a little bit nervous, I won't lie. It's something that I've been wanting to for a while, and it's something that I hope you're all gonna enjoy. But before I do that, there's a significant change coming in for everyone's interface. If you observe my main action bar, you will notice that the main action bar is, I'm killing the music, I'm killing it, I'm killing it, I'm killing it, music's gone. Okay, let's start again. You'll notice my main action bar has changed, and from Monday's updates, the main action bar will now be in line with your alternative action bars. As you can see, it is now tweaked, been tweaked and been made essentially to be in line with your other action bars. So before, it didn't match up, and some people who love to perfect their interfaces were like, well, hey, why isn't this matched up? And so on and so forth. And there it is. It's now done. It's there. And you will notice that it's kind of been thinned out a little bit. The action bars themselves, the abilities I should say, have been moved underneath. They're now all there. They're now ready to go. So you will notice that there are two new buff icons already on my screen here. These are related to the clan avatar. So my project during Game Jam was to bring in these buffs that I thought were useful for players that they couldn't see, but would be very useful for them to check out or just be useful to them to have. So we'll go through them a little bit by bit, and I will have to do Telos legit just so you can see the buff bar in action. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that, but we're going to have a bit of fun. So first of all, the two buff icons I've added related to the clan avatar, the world avatar buff. So if the clan avatar is on your world with the XP buff, you will then get a 3% icon letting you know that is the case. And of course, if it is near you, you'll get the additional 3% when it is on point. I'm pretty excited about this particular one for players who love to use the Aftershock. So Precise 3 Aftershock, Precise 5 Aftershock 3 is normally what people like to do, or Precise 4 Equilibrium 2, whatever they prefer. There is now an Aftershock tracker. So if you look at my buff bar, you will now see a percentage icon that accumulates as you do damage to whatever that may be. You may also observe that the health bar has been made a little bit bigger. So I made the health bar for the monsters and players a little bit bigger when you're doing combat. So for your bosses, they're going to go down a little bit less now. So hopefully you'll appreciate that also. That's something I haven't told anyone until now. I hope you all appreciate that. So the health bar icon's just been made a little bit bigger. And we'll get to 100% in just a moment, and then you will see what happens. And my crackling procced, and that is now the debuff bar being shown off there. So there's Aftershock, and then it continues on. So you can see we now have a debuff bar, so I'm just coming out of combat in just a second. I will be showing off my buff bar, but also I have a couple of fixes to go into as well. So if you're here for that, make sure to stick around for that one. Alright, so there is now a debuff bar. It is its own separate, what we call TLI, which is top level interface. You can move that around as you wish. So when you log in, it might be in a very random spot because it is a new TLI. But feel free to get a debuff of some sort, and then you can grab it and then go from there. So there is quite a fair bit to go through here. So I'm going to show off a couple more things, and then I'm going to have to try and take on Telos. Just to bring everyone up to speed here, I've also added a buff filtering category. So let's say, for example, you're trying to save a little bit of space here and there on your buff bar, and for example, what I'm going to use it for is if I'm at Telos or any boss, if I do protect from melee, I don't need a buff icon telling me that because I can see it above my player's head. So you can just toggle off your overhead prayers, do an attack, or wait for it to catch up, and it'll get rid of it, and that icon is still there. So it's all about trying to save that buff bar space wherever possible, for me anyway, as well as trying to optimize it wherever you can. So something which I think a lot of people who get very into their PVM would love to see is what they call affinity, but I'm just going to call it an increased chance to your base hit. So certain weapons, when you use your special attack, will proc what's called an affinity debuff. That can be done by the Gothic Staff, the Statius Warhammer, anything like that. There will be a list on Monday's update if you don't know what it is. So if I do the special attack with the Gothic Staff, you will see when we get that little icon in just a moment, we'll now get a stacking counter for your affinity. And each weapon has a different affinity duration, depending on, of course, the stuff that's used. The Statius Warhammer will add +5, whereas the Gothic Staff will add +10. So everyone's going to have a bit of fun with that one, I imagine, in masses, etc. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. So I think it's pretty awesome that that's there. I'm very happy with that one. There's also an enhanced Excalibur debuff timer that will give you a live timer when you activate it and tell you how long it is until it comes off cooldown, so you don't have to right click it and go back on it. There's also a couple of other things, but I guess we're going to have to try and step up to Telos now, which I must admit I'm trembling a little bit here. So I've always been a little bit nervous about trying to stream Telos because I'm comfortable doing kills here, then, everywhere, but I've never really done it on stream. So this is my stats. My highest in range is not 1k, it's actually 310, but I must have been testing something. But anyway, I'm going to do a 100. I'm going to wuss out a little bit, but I'm going to do a full kill. So feel free to criticize all you want. I'm just going to roll in and we're going to have a bit of fun with this. And we're going to see what we can do. But I'm going to do a normal kill, so use my Weapon Poison ++, Prayer, Overload. I'm also going to show you a new buff icon, which is a Dreadnought timer, which you'll see into play in just a moment. I need to get rid of the avatar. Yeah, it probably would help if I had a pack yak, actually, wouldn't it? Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous. It would be ridiculous if I get a drop. That's all I'm going to say. If I end up getting a drop, I'm going to be very annoyed. Because I actually have yet to get a drop at Telos. I'm not going to do 4K Enrage for obvious reasons. So let's just get Yak. Oop, didn't grab it. I'm not doing the hill. I'm going to get rid of the potato so no one can accuse me of cheating either. Okay, so we'll summon the pack Yak. We will put some tails in. This is a copy of my actual account on a test world. So the best way I thought to show off the buff bar was to try and take off well, basically try and set it up the way I would do it if I had this update. So, here we go. Wish me luck. We're going to do this, and I'm going to just try and talk as I'm going through this, and feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll try and answer them where I can. So, yeah, wish me luck. We're going to try and do this. Okay, so nothing has changed out of the ordinary from the buff icons in regards to auras and scrimshaws. They're still the same. Obviously, your weapon poison plus, your supreme overloads, everything else, that's all fine and dandy. So, I've got no bonfire boost or anything like that, but let's do it. So, everyone at Telos loves using their dread nips. So, you can see I've just deployed a dread nip, and now I have a dread nip active, and it will give you a duration timer for how long it is. If people didn't know already, it's 60 seconds, but hey, that's nice to know, right? And of course, there's the enhanced devoted timer as well, if you saw that. It's 3 seconds, so just bear that in mind. It will go quick, but it's nice to know when it's active. So, yeah, it's nice just knowing when Aftershock's up. My Crackling just procs, so the timer's there. So it's all kind of coming together very nicely, especially for you elite PVMers or anyone getting into this. It's very nice to have. So my Aftershock should proc in just a moment. And we can surge away. I didn't surge. Oh, my numpad's not working. That's not useful. Okay, 1. These 2. Hold still in beta. Resonance, move away. And keep wild magic in, doing all the damage. So you notice as well my Acto procced as well. And that will now tell me that I will not get an Acto reset for another 60 seconds. So again, just for people who are not aware, you don't get an Acto reset unless it's every 60 seconds after it's proc. So it might be something that's nice to know. But yeah, it's good fun. I think it all comes together very nicely, but we'll have to wait and see. Surge, I love how someone who's called RuneScape Proc is going, he said my name again. 2, 3, freedom, switch to mage. Oh man, my keybind ain't working. What the heck? My dash isn't working. Oh well, it's okay. And actually, it'd be nice actually if I did die, only because the Sign of Life buff effect is in effect. Buff effect is in effect? The Sign of Life countdown is in effect, I should say. Hello, Matt. I can't tell us, it's just I'm actually trolling. Not trolling. What's the word? I'm crumbling. I'm crumbling under the pressure. I'm gonna have to start clicking on the on my actual action bars instead of pressing my dash and equals because they're not working for some reason. But as you can see, it's nice to have, in my opinion anyway. I don't know if you all agree, but I think it's really nice that we have the debuffs on the other side. So when you're into beams and stuff, it'll kick in. So as you can imagine, or as you can see, my Enhanced Excalibur's now gone into cooldown, so there's a live timer there. And we have all these different all these different buffs that are kicking in, and they're just nice to have, really. Personally, anyway, I just think they're really good, and I will ramble a little bit here. It's just, yeah, it's what I do. So hopefully I can get out a Debilitate as well, which would be nice. So the Debilitate, when you activate it, will show up on the enemy buff bar, but it will never show up on your player buff bar. And I added that as a quick addition per request, so I thought that would be pretty nice to do. Try and surge away, and then we'll keep out of the black beam. He's going to have his mage attacks after he does his grip. But yeah, I mean, by all means, feel free to ask whatever questions you want. I'll try and answer what I can. But yeah, it's good fun. It genuinely is good fun. It's just great doing a live demo of it and seeing it all in action. Just from a selfish point of view, I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I'm just a little bit nervous. Oh dear. Alright, so he's maging, so I'm going to switch over to my wand and shield, and we're going to try and, oh, I haven't got my, oh, it's my old action bar, so I'm going to try and debilitate him quickly. That's revenge, wrong one, Sean. So we're going to try and debilitate him, and hopefully we get a buff icon. There we go. So you can see my debilitate will last for 15 seconds, and then, of course, you get a nice countdown telling you when debilitate ends, so that's nice to have as well. We'll turn on reflect, so we get a bit of damage back towards him. I haven't got any news on the Oculus filters right now. You might also notice I'm on NXT 2.24. Now what this means is that there is a change to the colors. You might have noticed during Telos' mage attacks there was a little bit of a change. I don't know if there was much though. Alright, Resonance, move away, switch back to melee, Dreadnip. But yeah, Revenge also now has a duration timer when you activate it. So for people who love using their Revenge during P5 at Telos, you will now have a duration effect when that's in, as well as it telling you the stacks, which is what it did before. You will, of course, notice I'm on 3.3 gigabytes as well on my NXT clients. This is actually a thing. So NXT's cache, as a result of, I believe, Mod Dark's amazing work, is now up to, well, down to a 3.3 gig. And you can see the red beam. So I don't know if you guys play NXT on Telos, but if you look at the red beam changes, it is quite significant in its color. I've actually not seen this until now, so this is pretty fascinating. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing it here and now. And yeah, we'll carry on with our kill and see how we do. That red beam is very, 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 very red now. So I'm actually getting very lucky with my beam spawns here. Surge. Bloop. Alright. Can the aura icon match the aura being used? It could, but that would require all the auras being added to the buff bar, I believe. I might be wrong though, but we'll have to double check. What you call it? I can't remember what I was going to say now. Something just completely slipped my mind. Oh yeah, the buff bar filtering project actually involved tweaking, at the time, all 212 buff icons. With this update, it takes it up to 244 buff icons. There's a mix of skilling with clan avatars and another thing I'll get to in just a moment. And it also includes the enhanced Excalibur timer, which you saw, the crackling, and pretty much other things. But the main thing to me was I'm trying to get into PVM a little bit, and I love just trying to see how much better I can do. I'm a real noob, like I'm a massive noob, but I love the challenge, and I always do get absolutely ruined sometimes, but I get angry, obviously, because I don't like dying. Who doesn't, right? So another thing we've actually added, let me just take my overload here a second, is a detonate charge-up timer. So when detonates in effect, you now get a percentage timer that counts up when it's ready to go, and then you can detonate it. So for people who like doing their wave clears here and their golems, you can now get a nice little countdown on that as well. So hopefully that is useful for some people as well. I think it's pretty cool. It's going to be useful for me, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that works for everyone. My dash key is not working, which means trying to switch prayers is a real pain sometimes. Oh wow, already got a golems. Okay, so we'll anticipate. We will charge up onto the volcanic, charge up the detonates, get our detonate percentage up, and boom, up to 100, pop it, and we get our damage. So I think it's just a nice visual cue, personally. I think it's nice. Hopefully you all like that. And now I need to make sure we keep him stun locked, because he's going to do with so much power. And he's done it. And resonanced in time! Oh my, I don't believe that one. Woo! Oh wow, don't get cocky yet. But hey, I'm pretty proud of that one, to be fair. And I'm going to consume you, pull out the shield, reflect it onto the fonts. There you go. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Onto mage, shield switch, resin. I didn't reso in time. That's silly. There we go. Anyway, so hopefully in just a second we'll have him down into his third phase of P4, and then we can kill the golems, then do P5. And P5 is obviously the important one for people, because a lot of people who love using their different buff icons probably should have used escape there. Sorry about that. You can never expect a Telos guy with me because I'm garbage. Nowhere near compared to obviously people like Base Tank who've got lit up, and everyone else who pretty much managed to go on their amazing little streaks. And obviously for people like them as well, I hope they like this update. It should come in should come in handy for them. I hope. I won't lie, I'm actually so relieved just to be playing it now and not making a fool out of myself here and there. But just having a bit of fun with it all the same, and you know, I just hope it looks good, I guess is the main thing. Here comes the anima. Reflect. Bloop. Oh, crackling proc as well, that's very nice. And try and stun him. Try and stun him, because I'd rather not go through the hold still right now. Get ready to switch to mage. Oh, my accuracy's so off. Not hitting him. Alright, it's all good. It's all good. We should be fine. I hope. Alright, so I swear to God though, if I end up getting a really good drop, I'm going to be so salty. You have no idea. Oh dear. Throughout this kill, I haven't even procced Gothic Staff on him or anything like that. I'm a real noob. Alright. So, we'll do our usual here, or do our usual. Look at me speaking like I'm some pro. I'm not, ladies and gentlemen. Detonate. Pop. And then we can try and use that. Alright. Let's do this. Actually, probably shouldn't use my Onslaught yet, because he's about to do his virus in just a moment. And there it is, the black virus. Surge. Oh, my num key. So you heard me press a key there. That's normally numpad 0, and it is not working, which is very frustrating. But we'll roll with it. Alright, let's get Dreadnought back in action. I don't have enough lore runes. Wait, what? That's interesting. Did I just press the wrong key and screw up my Onslaught? I probably did. Ah, well, it's okay. Luckily, we got more immortality, right? That's what everyone does nowadays. The Warhammer will proc the affinity debuff as well, or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it that, some people don't. It will proc it, so definitely will come in handy for that one. And well, he'll get ready to charge his bomber immortality. I revolution. I'll happily admit I'm not fast enough for full manual. I'm not ready for full manual. I got a bit to go. I'm fine with that. And yeah, we'll carry on and see how I can do. Oh goodness, that could have been bad. Although it would have been nice, like I said, to get the. Is it actually a common issue? Because I've never had that. It must be. I'm absolutely positive it's a keyboard issue. You know. Maybe it's a keyboard issue. What keyboard are you using? Just for my own curiosity. All right, Telos is dead. I didn't get a pet. Thank God. Would have been a little bit salty about that. Oh, I got insane final bot. Wait, if I got IFB, then that would mean I've got the pet. I must have screwed up some checks. Oh dear. Anyway, okay, here we go. Incandescent energy. There we go. Not a very good loot for me, but that's commonplace for me. Anyway, so yeah, that's I hope a good little demo of it in PVM. Obviously, you people can probably do it way better than me. But I hope it kind of shows it all kind of kicking in and how it all comes together. Because I'm actually very pleased with that one. All right, so we do have a couple more buff icons or buff changes to show you. So I'd like to go through them. So I'm going to clear my inventory in just a moment. Oh, I'm in RC, so I cannot do debug procs. So I'm going to use the potato to get rid of stuff. All right. So. Alright, so for people who love to use their blood essences, I know some people like to use them at Telos. When you activate it, you get a timer that kicks in. However, you don't get told how long it is until it comes off cooldown until you right-click activate. I had some help with Mod Orion for this one, and we now have a timer in between your blood essence charges. You now know when it comes off and when you can right click activate and then go from there. So hopefully you all appreciate that one. Also, I'm going to do this in just a moment. We have the revenge icon, which I didn't really get to show you during that because I was panicking a little bit. So when you use revenge, you now have a timer. That timer will then get pushed to the top, or excuse me, the stacks will then get pushed to the top when you get hit by stuff. So when you're getting attacked, the stacks will go above the icon and then go from there. That timer isn't actually a tick off. I actually copied the timer based on how long the effect is. I believe it is specifically that one, so should be okay. And that timer should be dead on. In fact, let's try it right now. So we'll just keep right click activating it. If it's off by a second, I apologize. There we go. 5, 4, 3. I'll activate it at 1. Still nothing. Activate it now. There you go. So there you go, as you can see. Seems to be on point. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here because I need to go to Beastmaster and Yakamara next. They're my next port of calls. And I'm gonna make a group. And I hope this works. Oh, ray test isn't gonna work, is it? Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate this from a visual perspective. Beastmaster 1. Whoops. So I'm just going to force add my Beastmaster debuffs because I don't want to try and force a raid at the moment. So I'm just going to do this very quickly. Okay, so if you are in a Beastmaster battle, as you can see on my buff bar, you will come across the following effects, which now have icons to represent them. If you're bitten by any of his pets or by him when he's a bit more angry, it will then increase the stack there. You also get a stack for the run energy decrease. We also, get a stack decrease or stack increase for the more bleed damage the Durzag's pets do to you. And of course, the big bad Durzag himself, if he happens to get very angry at you, if you happen to be a tank, you can then see a stacking icon being counted up. So, yeah, hopefully that will come in handy for players who are doing their Beastmaster runs. And if you happen to be at Yakamaru, there is now a stacking counter for each stack of Drench that he does to you. So every time he inflicts a damage of Drench, you will now get a stacking counter, which you, of course, can half by using Freedom. So hopefully you'll be able to keep on top of that, and hopefully it'll come in handy for you. Also, there is Nex and Nex AOD. So when Nex has this, you will now get a message which is at 5, 10, and 15, you get your defensive abilities reset. So that will be an icon which I hope you guys will appreciate as well. So hopefully that'll come in handy for you tanks at AOD. What else do we have? You would have seen the enhanced devoted perk icon throughout that fight. I think I called it out once. I'm now going to try and kill myself in-game to try and see if we get the sign of life counter. And there we... No, that's not there. Interesting. I wonder if it's because I've broken my bar by cheating. So theoretically, what should happen is you will die, or should I say you will... what do you call it? When you proc your sign of life, you will get a sign icon being triggered. In fact, I should probably log out a second for this one, just to force it and update it properly. So bear with me just one moment here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to go to a black screen just 1 second. But yeah, I'm hoping you're all enjoying this. We still have the patch notes to go through. There was one patch notes I made reference to, which was the main action bar change. So hopefully you all saw that. And we're going to log back in. And there we go. So it's because I force changed my buff bar. Thank God it works. We now have... So on login, let's say, for example, the game update hits and you happen to proc your sign of life. When you log in after the game update, if you happen to have a sign of life that is kicked in and then can't kick in for another hour, you now get a timer telling you when that will next kick in. So hopefully that's a very useful update for you as well. Excalibur, if you haven't seen it already, shows up on the buff bar when you activate it, which I will show you right now. Boom. So if you right click activate, that will now show up on your debuff bar to tell you when it comes off cooldown. And you will, of course, just in case you're not aware, there is also a stacking number, which is the amount of levels that has increased your skill. So if you happen to take, let's say, super attack or extreme attacks, then it will tell you the amount of levels that's increased. Of course, if it's been debuffed, courtesy of a Saradomin brew, then it will do the opposite. So hopefully that's something that's pretty cool. Also, I added this one as well, which is the Garage and Mushroom, I guess is how you say it. When you eat it, it will tell you how long the effect is in for when you eat it, and then of course it'll tell you a cooldown when you can eat another one. So hopefully the positive and negative ones at the same time will be nice. And then there is also a Portent of Restoration cooldown. So if you fall below a specific number of life points and your Portent of Restoration kicks in, you'll be told how much time it is before the Restoration kicks in again. So something for skillers, which I think is pretty cool. We're going to head over to Iorwerth, and we're going to get caught pickpocketing. And with a bit of luck, we should get given a icon. Or maybe I need to make it. Maybe I need to force them to help catch me. That's what I'm gonna do. Elf City pickpockets underscore. Actually, I've got it here. There you go. Okay, so these guys should catch me now, and there you go. So you now have thieving cooldown timers when you can now thieve from them. So you can see I now have 19 minutes or more than 19 minutes before I can go back to Iorwerth and thieve off them again. This applies to all 8 thieving clans in Prifddinas. It also applies to the two islands on the Ark, which is Waiko and Cyclosis. So there's a cooldown timers for them as well. So hopefully it'll give you a chance to rotate and alternate your thieving runs better, I hope. So yeah, hopefully you'll all appreciate that one as well. Goodness me, I've been talking so much. Oh goodness. Okay, so as I mentioned as well, you would have, if you didn't see it already, the affinity or the icon that comes up when you use special attacks can now kick in. I believe this is what the Warhammer is called. Okay, cool. Okay, so if we were to use, let's say, so if you're in a mass, and let's say, you know, I'm the guy who likes to use his Gothic staff, and then we'll proc that, so we get a 2, and then we need to equip the hammer because it's new. And then if we were to use the proc of this, or special of this I should say, we should be able to hit it. I might miss a few times because I have mage gear on, but I hit, and there you go, and now you can see it goes up to 7. So that's about, I believe, a 70% chance to hit. I believe it's every 1 stack is a 10%. I might be wrong though, but I believe that's what it is. So the Warhammer does a +5, and the Gothic staff does a +2, and there's a couple of other ones that you can try out, and they'll be in the patch notes, so you can try them out, so you have to wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. And I think from the buff bar perspective, that is it. So I do hope that was a good demo of that. I hope you've all enjoyed it. And I hope I've covered everything that you need to be aware of. So I hope that, first of all, one, thank you so much for supporting me and, you know, giving me the feedback that I can do it. And secondly, I just hope you all enjoy it. It was a pleasure, and it's something that I will definitely have fun using. I hope you all have fun using it as well. There will be an Easter event. You can find our details on Monday's news post. It's actually something that me and Mod Mahi have done, which feels surreal to say in its own right. So I hope you all enjoy that as well. We had great fun doing it. I hope you all enjoy that also. Okay, so more stuff. Oh, actually, we got another thing that I've done as well, ironically. Okay, so let me do a demonstrative example. That's not a word. Let me do an example demonstrative. What am I talking about? So, for people who love using their rune pouches, I've now added a warning message. What do you mean, Mod Shawnee? Okay, so if we were to fill up our rune pouch with, as you can see, we have 501 air runes, 501 fire runes. If we use a spell, and then I'm going to switch to legacy because I know we can always proc. So if we were to use, let's say, Fire Surge, and then we cast it, when you go below 500 runes in your rune pouch, in any of them, it will give you a warning message that you have less than 500 runes. So hopefully, if you're doing Telos, you'll see that message and get yourself a heads up that you're kind of running out of runes. You kind of need to do a top up. So hopefully that'll come in handy as well. It's something that I've run into myself, so I thought it'd be nice to add that in. So I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so next up, if you happened to get 120 in all skills on Monday's update, you will now get a global broadcast message, as you can see. So we're going to let the spam kick in a little bit here, and now you can see the name has just achieved virtual level 120 in all skills. So, oh goodness, I'm getting a milestone spam. Anyway, yeah, there is now a global message for virtual level 120 in all skills. There was an Iron Man that has already done this milestone, and we have ticked him off on the Iron Man first list in Edgeville. So I'm going to go give him his congrats right now so everyone can see it. I believe it is skills 120, and there should be a section somewhere, miscellaneous potentially. Here we go, 120 all. And it was Stanley who did it on the 12th of March. So we asked the analytics team, can they find out if anyone has done it before we put this live? So Stanley, to him, so a massive congratulations to Stanley. He's already been able to 120 all in Iron Man mode, and he did that on the 12th of March. And Hardcore Iron Man has yet to be done with this. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool how we've been able to acknowledge him prior to. And yeah, I think it's a nice touch. And congratulations to him. Really good stuff. Alright, so another thing to keep in mind as well is for people who are doing raids and like using the raids quick chat puzzle message, there is now a quick chat auto response, which is the raids puzzle status on it. So hopefully some of you appreciate that, as something that people have been asking. Okay, World 48 from Monday will now have its level requirement upgraded from 2,400 to 2,600. So if you haven't got 2,600 total level already, you need to get going to make sure you can still access World 48. So that is what is going to happen on Monday's update as well. Oh, goodness. There is also now a warning when you disassemble a attuned crystal teleport seed, just in case you do it by accident, like someone did on Reddit and posted about it. Silly him. And also the attuned crystal teleport seed can now be equipped in the pocket slots. So you can now right click and wear it, and that can go into your pocket slot, and you can now wear that for Monday's updates. And yeah, I believe I just need to double check something here, just in case I haven't missed anything. I'm going to do one more little search and double check what's going on with that. Excuse me. Kind of spoken a fair bit, so my throat's a bit like whoa. But yeah, as you can tell, the nerves were kicking in a little bit at Telos, but I managed to get through it. It was a sloppy as all hell kill, but you know, it's part of the fun. I'm just double checking to make sure I haven't missed anything that I wanted to cover. But by the looks of it, the ones I wanted to cover, oh, of course, and free-to-play members will no longer be able to purchase, free-to-play players will no longer be able to purchase members items from the RuneScape store that was added just a few weeks ago as well, because it's they're members items. Also, by the looks of it, I believe, also for people who hate the Tusker teleports, and by that, I mean people who hate the flashing that it does when you activate it, we have gone in and tweaked it. That hopefully it shouldn't be as bad now. So mod, I can't remember the mod name, but they've gone in, who's an animator, has gone in and made it a lot less flashy, and it shouldn't be as bad when it's kicking in when people are using it. So hopefully everyone will be okay with that. And then I'm gonna say I'm finally done, but I'm not, because excuse me. Okay, I guess everyone wants to see the emote. That's fair enough. I mean, you know, it makes sense. Tusker teleport. I don't have it. Oh, that's awkward. However, there is a way. I'm pretty sure. Or a pouch, I imagine, will not be coming for a little while, because that's a lot of work that Mod Harrison has to do. He showed it off, of course, at Game Jam, which looked awesome, but it was very work in progress, so there's a lot to do. So I'll show you the teleport right now, in just a moment. My hand is actually trembling at the moment, so I apologize. Goodness me. So many teleports. Goodness. Nearly there. I believe MQC will remain as a world message. I don't imagine that's going to change into a global. In regards to the Skybox project I've done, at the moment it's just got to go through the process. It's very close. It's very, very close. But hopefully it'll be in sooner than later. However, I can confirm that with the Skybox project, you will now be able to use it while skilling or doing bossing. It looks pretty awesome. I'm very happy with it, but yeah, we'll have to show that off when the time comes. Anyway, so we'll do the Tusker Storm teleport, so you can now see the changes to it. So it's, as you can see, the lightning effects are nowhere near as obtrusive as what they were before. So you can definitely do it before and after, by all means, but that is now what it looks like from Monday's update. Alright, so I think last but not least, I need to go through the NXT changes for everyone. There's a fair few, so I'm just going to have to read them out. But for those of you who were on my Patch Notes Teaser stream, Patch Notes Teasers post last week, you will have already seen these notes, but just to refresh your memory, here is what we have. So, from Monday's updates, we will now see the following. A crash that sometimes happened when you're with a mass amount of players on locations that overlapped has now been fixed. The client has been changed to deal with his own window, which includes saving, restore a position scrolling, and access to launcher options. The OSX and Linux clients have been changed to binary executables now. Fixes have also been made to OS X and Linux crash reporting, so they'll now come straight to us, which will be very handy. The ability to also turn off terrain blending has been added, as well as ground decor. So we're going to come to that now and show you what's going to happen when you toggle them off. So this is terrain blending off, and we're on ultra graphics still, remember, so we've just turned off terrain blending. So I'll go to, let's go to the crater. I think that'd be a little example there. So yeah, you can now see the real squares kicking in, the map squares. So this is what it looks like with terrain blending turned off, and of course it looks so weird having the water graphics versus the terrain blending. But anyway, that is what is going in with Monday's update also. So yeah, just to show you the difference, terrain blending and ground decoration will now make everything okay. So what else we have? Oh yes, of course, compression has been added to our disk cache. So now the game used to be about 12 gigabytes. It is now 3.3 gig. It is quite a significant change, and they've done an incredible job being able to get that down. Also, the disk cache validation performance has been improved and optimized up to 7 times faster. And also the performance of loading for people not on SSD drives has been optimized up to about 2 times faster if it's fully defragged, and more if it's not. And also the particles have changed a little bit, and for this we're going to have to get the Slayer 120 cape to demonstrate, I imagine. Excuse me. Oh goodness. Skill cape 120 Slayer, I believe it is. I've spelled skill wrong, haven't I? Yeah, of course I did. Okay, Slayer. So if we now equip the Slayer cape, you can now see the particles. I believe they're a lot more Java-esque, I believe is what it's now like. I think before they were brighter, but well, you saw it Telos actually with the beams kicking in. They were significantly different, especially the red one anyway. But yeah, that is now what it looks like. It looks pretty awesome. So definitely done a great job there. And also for people who've kept asking us, we've also updated the copyright logo on the launcher to now say copyright of Jagex. I believe it's 1999 to 2017. Can we see Virago Cave with it? Yeah, of course you can. Let me sort that for you right now. And then we'll get ready to wrap up. Is there any reason why we're changing from 2400 to 2600? I believe it's because of the invention edition, which essentially ups the skills, the skill total. All right, so we'll head in, and this is what the cave looks like now. So this is what the Virago Cave looks like now with the color changes. It is a lot more vibrant. Goodness me, that's brilliant. The animation includes the Tusker teleport animation at Mason Stick. But yeah, pretty much all of the visuals have been changed in NXT, I believe, in regards to the coloring. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. It's not as green, I believe, as what some people have come across in NXT when doing Virago. But yeah, that is that. So Monday's update, and that's just the teasers as well. There's some more stuff that you guys need to all keep an eye out on for sure. I have nothing to say regarding the Hazelmere hints, so I'm not the guy for that, sorry. But yeah, that is that basically. So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope most of all that you've enjoyed it. And I think I can breathe a little bit now after the buff bar stuff. So hopefully you've all enjoyed that, and hopefully you are getting hyped for what is coming up on Monday's update. So yeah, it's coming together very, very nicely, and hopefully you all don't manage to break my buff bar update somehow, but hopefully you all have fun with it and take advantage of it for sure. T92 dies, I believe, have been content complete. They just need to go through a few more processes to get into game. So hopefully in the near future. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure as always. I hope you've enjoyed it, and most of all, I hope you enjoyed Monday's update. But we will be back here on Sunday for the premiere of the RuneScape documentary, which is at 5:30 p.m. UTC time. That's 5:30 p.m. game time, and 6:30 p.m. UK time. So we have a documentary to go through, and we have quite a fair bit to do with that one. So I'm very excited for that. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Have yourself an absolutely wonderful, wonderful night and weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday for the documentary. Take care, and have a good one.